Hiya, hiya. It's a social network of Joey Reynolds today in my backyard.
Right. This is not our usual happy half-hour quarantine edition.
You gonna let me finish? There are people in the yard here in my backyard.
Oh, really?
And I wanted to have a special edition to show you how Florida has opened up and New York is closed and New Jersey. Jay's in New Jersey. I'm in Florida. Wait a minute. Let me finish. And you already got your mouth open. You're ready to. This is going to be like the Donald Trump golf tournament. The Donald Trump mouth open. All right. Now, here's what I want to tell you is that people in the yard here are not separated and they have their kids. Let me just put the camera up. I hope you can see it. I don't know if you can or not, but I want to show you no social distancing. Can you see that at all? You see it?
Yeah.
All right. Now this is what happens when you tell people that we're going to open America. You're going to open America and all the funeral homes. You know, I mean, this is unbelievable how people. I was going to wear a mask just to come out to get some fresh air. And I want you to see what's going on here. Now, you know, we got a president who didn't act fast enough, they say. Then we got a guy who has sex 30 years ago, and he looks like he can't have any now. And right next to that report, I'm watching the television tonight on Fox, right after the Fox thing, right after the foxhole. And that's what that president is. I'm watching the TV, and right afterwards, they do the story about Joe Biden. There was a commercial for erectile dysfunction. and now I'm looking and I'm saying, you know, now I know where this, you know, we don't usually do politics, but this is absurd. I know where this election is going to go. Somebody's got to tell everybody that America runs on Duncan. We don't need these two clowns, either one of them, or 4 clowns or 8 of them. You know, it takes all of those guys to have a circus. And I know that every circus has a sideshow, and I don't want to be one of the freaks on the sideshow.
Yeah.
So now, you know, Talkers Magazine, which is out of New England, has reported that I am retired. Now, they're retired because nobody's reading it. I'm not retired. I'm not even tired, let alone retired. I couldn't be any more tired if I were B.F. Goodrich. You know, I'm not tired at all. And now I want to bring out my good friend and sidekick. But before I do that, now, Jay, I know you're on screen, but hold on. Now look at our minister today at the church. You ready? I don't know if I can hold this up to the camera here. Where are we? Where is that camera? Here. Do you see this at all? Can you see it? No, you can't because the picture went away. That's Wait a minute.
Big production today.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I know. Well, it's all right. It's primitive. Do you see that? What is he doing? What's he doing?
In the sunshine with an umbrella.
He's got an umbrella. He's doing my act.
Yeah.
With a smile be your umbrella. Yeah. I said, hey, wait, whoa, we just did that. We just did the whole book thing, you know. I mean, come on. And Frank produced that. That was Frank's idea to do the book in increments, you know. And because of it, we sold 4 books. Thanks, Frank. No, we're having I just want you to see what's going on. You know, when you're watching television now, you see a person in their living room, and they have a lamp like Jay has right here. You know, that early American look, and are they a nice look at the guy's talking, and he's like, you know, right now. But look at me. I got
naturally.
I have people behind me in a pandemic. You know, I mean, you would think that I'm in the middle of some sort of a social event, and I can't believe they're doing this. So I said to Frank, I said, Frank, can we do a quick Zoom? I just want to show how people don't regard anything that's said on television. And I know I want to ask you about this, Jay. I'm of the opinion, and I'm going to ask you about it, that people are used to watching TV, and they don't think it's about them. We don't think it's the crimes are not us. The things that are happening on TV, we're not the ones that have the sexual acting out accusations. The only thing that's about us is we're not getting our checks. That's about us. Now, Jay, did you get your check?
We got our stimulus checks last weekend. Yes, we did.
Are you stimulated? Are you highly stimulated?
I can't be any more stimulated.
Did you get one for your wife too?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So you're hog rich right now, aren't you?
Well, temporarily, yeah. We have a few grand. Yeah, that's it.
So you can go out and buy meat.
I can buy meat. Yeah, I did the other day. It was very hard to find anything that resembled meat even. I saw a raccoon on the side of the road and almost stopped. That's
now you know why Casey Kasem was a vegan. You see? Because he saw and he has $40 billion, you know, he had. But, you know, when you're a vegan, you don't worry about that. So
That's true.
You become a vegetarian, but you can't get vegetables either, right?
They're pretty good with vegetables right now. They're still all right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Vidalia onions are out now, so I'm in heaven. So I
like those things. Those are the onions. The only time you cry is when you're out of them.
That's right.
Those are good onions. All right. So now you got this crowd around you called the Hasidic Jews, right? You know, I don't like Jews, orange Jews, tomato Jews, but Hasidic Jews I like. They're the ones with all the cameras and the diamonds. Are you kidding? You don't want them to go away, do you? Well, so what are they doing in Lakewood? Which we had a station there together, you and I. That's people watching this should know I'm only joking.
Yeah, you know, it's a joke. It really is a joke. But
I was a host of the Jewish Hour on WOR for 15 years.
Yeah. So you're an honorary Jew, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I'm one of God's people's chosen person.
Right. Well, I think many of the Orthodox people in the Lakewood, New Jersey area are pretty much acting okay recently. At least it's not being reported on that any other mass gatherings are happening. And I think they finally got the message, which it's absurd how it took so long and so many people around them to get sick to recognize that. And you know, this is the first time you've ever been heckled, by the way, from people behind you, not in front of you.
Listen, I have a lot of people behind me.
Yes.
It's all in my past, but I don't want to live in the past.
No, nor do I. No,
we're not. We're progressive people, but we can't find our niche because the idiots on TikTok who have the brain of a 12-year-old, you know, they sit there and they got black guys dancing and doing well. That's okay. I'm not saying it because of the color. That's what I mean. You know, that it's that look. That's what. That's why I'm saying. You know,
I do that so poorly.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. It's not. You know, every time you say something, you're in trouble with. It's racism, it's womanism, it's whateverism.
No, but this is going to go viral. This old white guy going like this. That's.
And I worked so long in Lakewood, and Route 9 was all we had. We had a diner, right?
Pretty much it, yeah.
At the Holiday Inn, tell everybody what I did. I rode into town on when I got the radio station.
On a donkey.
And what did it say?
Well, it was the word ass, and I can't remember exactly what
I don't listen to WHLW, and you know what I am.
Yes. and that made a lot of noise, believe it or not.
It did. And then we had parties at the Holiday Inn while all the men were at work. In those days, women were housewives, I think. But we had strippers, remember the Chippendale dancers, on radio, right? We could get away with it at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, but I was back at the station, so I couldn't see anything.
You're saying that because you were married. But I think it was great to have movie stars come in from Hollywood. We brought people in from LA.
We had a lot of people, you know, after they were stars and before they were stars.
Well, we had Sal Mineo, we had Donna Mills, we had people. What was their name from Mork and Mindy?
Oh yeah,
Pam Dauber.
Yep.
And Steve Marchuk, who was the Gillette Max for Men guy on all the Gillette
on the boxes. Yeah, he was the model for that. Yeah,
which now, you know, if you look back, we were pretty adventuresome for a sleepy
at a small radio station.
At a daytime station.
And that's what is needed today. Somebody needs to be bold.
Well, someone, if they were bold, they would put us back on television
Well,
and pay for it instead
you
of us
know,
buying the time.
yeah,
We had to
exactly.
buy the time before. I felt like a religion.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and,
maybe if I put on my yarmute, they'll listen to me. Now listen, I
I
want you,
think
I
I think
want you to put
the
Joey Reynolds back on the air.
don't you're going to be in trouble now. You're not going to get any rye bread at Gelbstein's.
I want you to put
Oh
Joey
God.
Reynolds on the air. I want you to do it. I pay you many, many dollars.
Oh boy, you're never going to go to ShopRite. That's it. All these local things, they're all local.
Yeah.
But that's the point, is to be local. We were LOCO, local.
We
Pollo
were
loco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pollo loco. Well, that could go either way. You don't want to be saying that. It could be
Yeah.
chicken crazy and something else.
Radio is in trouble. And if anybody doesn't think that by now, they're local. They're local.
Well, that's because nobody's driving a car.
Well, yeah, that's some of it.
Yeah.
But it happened before that. It happened before that.
But wait, I'm the only guy that goes outside and listens to radio and doesn't go anywhere. I just turn the car on and call you, right? And listen to radio.
Yes.
I listen to, I can't stand FM because it's not playing any of my music.
No, it's homogenized. It's homogenized.
Yeah,
300 songs. That's it.
It's like one of the channels from XM, Sirius XM, or whatever they call it.
Kind of.
That's not radio anyway. I keep telling you that. That's XM. Sirius XM is a satellite subscription service. Mm-hmm. It's like having someone come door to door with a CD. That's what it is. It's not radio. Radio is a tower, and people, not even radio has become on AM a bitch box.
It's free.
Well, that's because you have commercials.
Yeah. If you put up with 8 minutes of commercials every few minutes, that's great.
I think I told you my favorite commercial is the car commercial where Volkswagen is going to give you, they're going to pay you for 3 months. Is that right? Is that what they said? They pay you for 3 months?
Yeah.
How does that go? It's something like that. They'll give you.
I don't know. I ignore those things. I just ignore it because I'm not stupid enough to do it.
Well, I want them to pay me for 3 months with a car that's not a Volkswagen. I don't think that works that way.
Hey, by the way, what's the score going on behind you in this game that's going on? What is the score behind you?
You mean me? People are now leaving.
The kids. What's the score in the ball game they're playing?
No, they're leaving the park right now. This is.
It's getting dark.
I refuse to turn around because then I will have to breathe whatever they're. I can't take a chance. I'm at that age where if I start breathing, I don't know where this virus is going.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it travels. I have no idea. I know it's not on American Express. What is it? American Airlines. Today, they announced that they're going to reconfigure the seats. That's what I'm getting at. How are they going to do that? What are you going to have? The pilot has to be separated from the co-pilot. That's not even 6 feet.
There'll be 8 seats on a giant, plane. That's pretty much.
How are you doing? Well, my friends took an RV from Florida to Maine.
Really?
Jim Bullabrook took his RV so that he would not have to stop and go to the toilet anywhere. Where it's taking a chance. Well, the RV is.
So they don't stop anywhere. They go in the trailer.
In the RV, yeah. Well, I mean, they've got a big RV. They got their own kitchen. They've sanitized it, so they're not taking any chances. God forbid they should open the window and breathe some of that air in Georgia. I mean, you're going through Georgia, which used to be a speed trap.
Yeah. True.
And always a stop. You would stop at Stuckey's. It was called Stuckey's.
Stuckey's, that's right.
And they had those signs that were, for Burma Shave, right?
Yes.
Remember that? There were a series of signs.
Burma Shave, but and nobody under 60.
I don't know if the millennials would know that there was a sign every quarter mile, and it was relevant. It would say, take your time, and then it would say, and be fine, and then it would say, clean your face, Burma Shave.
Yeah,
and that was miles. That was a quarter mile for each of those things, right?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Pay attention.
Well, my favorite comic was Brother Dave Gardner from the South, and he used to do a takeoff on that kind of thing with all the billboards and everything. And he would talk like he says, there's a sign. He said, it's a sign, and you just read it while you're driving. It says he's coming, and then you go another couple miles, and the sign again, it's coming soon. And then you get a couple miles more, it says he's coming very soon. And then And then you get another few miles down the road and it says, you're almost there. And then you get down the road and it says, he's gone.
You missed him.
Yeah. I mean, he was so flipped, but
Yeah.
but there were great comics. They used to say things that were funny, like, grits is whatever ain't. I mean, it's just bright people. You don't get that kind of stuff anymore. Now we're getting this kind of sophomore Trump jokes.
Yeah, we need Bob Hope. We need Bob Hope. Bob Hope. Come on.
No, Bob had trouble in the end too, because he couldn't relate to the audience after Vietnam. I mean, he looked like he was a Republican for Nixon, and that it's all image. It's image. Every morning, Bob Hope would get up and be Bob Hope. Was his persona. That's someone he created. He created a Bob Hope.
That's what
was. That's right. And Trump does that too. He gets up every morning and he's got to be Trump. And I have to be Joey. And I it's not a persona though. I mean, I don't think I have a persona. I think I'm always like this. I'm just always like this, I think. Is it true or?
You are always like this. Whatever this is, you are like it. Yes.
Yeah, this is not the let me get up and be me.
Listen, I've talked to you at 7 a.m. and I've talked to you at midnight, and it's the same you no matter what.
I know. At least I'm on Diet Coke, which is drugs for people with skinny noses. I don't like those bad jokes. I do them all the time.
Yeah, right.
Why do I do those jokes? You can be honest now.
Why do you do them? Sometimes it's like, when people say the word like.
Or
Which you
just
that's
did.
What it is. It's you're filling in the blanks where your brain is trying to figure out the next word. And you throw in a pun. And then you get to the next point. And that's instead of saying, like and if you listen to millennials, that's what you hear. And younger.
The worst interview in the world. I had 15 years of all night show, as you know, on a network, which was 5 hours and 4 hours sometimes, when we went down to 4 hours.
Yeah.
But 15 years of it, 14 and a half. And I sat there every night without any phone calls and without any politics, which I even throw jokes about like I do now. I mean, that's not politics. I don't.
But you had really quirky guests and people that were interesting. That's what you had.
But I think what happened in all that time that I was doing those shows, that I picked up on how I wanted to figure out what the next sentence was going to be from the guest. And you have to kind of like anticipate where they're going to go with something. And the worst kind of a guest, let me tell you, I've had authors. Let me just, I know you've done talk shows, but the worst kind of a guest is someone that says, that's a good question.
We want
because
to know
that means that all the other ones aren't.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. You're just killing time because you're asshole. You don't know what you're going to say.
There is nothing worse than having someone who is a guest who has nothing to say.
Or what you and I used to have, where they would plug their book. They would sit down and tell you about the book before we even talked to them.
Exactly. And we'd have comedians come on that would never do any shtick because they were afraid that if they did the shtick on TV or the radio, that you wouldn't come out to the club to see them. How stupid is that?
Well, very, because George Carlin would do the material somewhere else before he did it.
Always.
On TV. And then the person who would steal it all was Robin Williams. He would take all the jokes.
He was famous for stealing.
Oh yeah, he would just say, "Yeah, that's a good joke. Let me have that," and we grab it. But it's a wonderful career that we've had, and it's not over.
It's not over.
I think we're on the verge of a new career here. What we're going to do is go ahead.
That's the misconception. Because you're not on at the moment doesn't mean you're done. It doesn't mean you're over, and it doesn't mean that because you're a certain age, you should not have any kind of an outlet where there's right, there you go. Imagination has no age limit. Absolutely correct. And what my point is, the point is that we can help nurture the people who are underserved by what's on radio and television at the moment. There is no one that's truly reaching a slightly older demographic. There's nothing wrong with people who are 55 and older. There's nothing wrong with them. They buy things, and eventually they'll go out to restaurants again, and they buy Lincolns, and they buy things. And so, you know, the whole nature of advertising is going to change, by the way. It's already evolving. It's already changing now, and there's going to be a shift in the way things are presented. That is going to be the biggest thing that's going to happen in the next few months. And you're seeing it now when you watch TV or listen to regular radio over the air with commercials. You're starting to hear a different tone now. And nobody's screaming at you. Have you noticed that? There's no more, buy right now, for $50 now, we'll get you a car, brand new car. You're not getting those commercials at all.
Well, now there's commercials that are done with this bass tone. That's way down like that. That's way down. We're all together in this. There's a dog.
Does your dog need some chow? Well, you can come to our place. We are PetSmart, and you can eat all the dog food you want there, buddy. You can do anything you want in our store. So, I think they're talking to the dog and not the owners.
I think I want to just get on today, like we've done, just briefly. And I wanted to thank Frank Minishak for all of his help with, he probably will edit this out, but I want to thank him for all his help. He's made all these broadcasts possible by actually doing something he doesn't do for a living, which is to steal. No, he's been engineering and helping the technical stuff, and appreciate that. So we're looking for someone who will actually want to do the work. And then we're looking for someone who will actually pay all of us for it. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to be selling my cheesecakes again. The way this is going.
I was just going to say that. So it's back to cheesecakes for Joey.
Now we go again.
Well, I could always do record hops.
Nobody knows what that is anymore.
Nobody knows it.
The very first one I went to was at school at Bishop Timon High School. We had Jerry Lee Lewis, who was dancing. He played the piano with his ass. Wow. And that wasn't really good when the girls come from Mount Mercy and the boys are from Bishop Timon. And the priests and the nuns were watching Jerry Lee Lewis.
They were having conniptions. Yeah.
And he had a 13-year-old bride, and he's in his 20s. Remember that?
I do.
That was the end of the record hops. Yeah. We didn't have them.
You know, I used to do dances for the Mormon Church in central New Jersey. Yeah. And I had to pick the right songs that didn't have any lascivious, lyrics. I ended up playing one song over and over again because all the other ones were too dirty. So,
what was it? It wasn't Louie Louie?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Do you think I'm sexy either? It wasn't that.
No.
But I had to be very careful with what I played, and I did. And I kept getting every month. I got a gig. It paid the mortgage for years. Years.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to mention this on the air, and I keep forgetting it. The food that is being given out now from the food bank, they complain, not that we're running out of the food necessarily, but the distribution of it, because the warehousing usually has 1,000 people and they're only distancing, so they'll have a couple hundred. But we're going to run out of food if we keep going this way. And the people who have all the food are the Mormons. Do you know that? That's part of their religion. Yeah, that's why they went to the mountains, I think, in the caves or in Utah, and they store food. They have been doing, this is what they do as part of their, I'm serious now, this is not a gag, but they store their food and they have, I don't know for how long. I mean, I don't know how, they could live in a cave for years and have a lot of food. I mean, that's what they do. Do you know that?
No, it sounds
I don't know the whole history. You have to Google it, but I'm just
right.
Giving you the idea that they do that for religion.
It sounds like the Cold War, when people had bunkers,
Well, but this is part of their religious belief, that they have to have enough in case they have to go to the promised land or something. I don't know.
They happen to be wonderful people. They were always very nice to me and my wife, and made things for our kids when they were born, and it was quite nice. It was quite nice.
Well, I was on KOA in Denver, which is another mile-high city like Salt Lake is, where the Mormon Tabernacle is. The Latter-day Saint Church. Mm-hmm. And one night I was I had an all-night television show that followed David Letterman, which is Mountain Time because he's off at 10:30 at night in Denver. And I got on the air, and there was a woman who was overweight, and she had a poplin jacket and was chewing gum, and she was my guest. You know who that was?
Roseanne Barr?
Barr. That's right. And she had her husband, Bill, with her, and she was calling herself a domestic goddess.
Yes, I remember that early on. Yeah.
And that's where that came from. Then she went on the road with about a year later with Ignacio, you know. And I think she became a very big star, but I always liked her. I thought she was really nice, and she watched me in Utah. She says, I'm a Jew and I'm with the Mormons. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
And she was on our show on WNBC radio just before her big show started. And the same thing happened with Brett Butler, who used to do gigs with us all the time, bits with us all the time. And
she
had
was
a big show
on
for about 5 years after that. So it's pretty cool.
Well, we got a lot of people got their start, and, you know, they got bigger than us, which is really not right. We got to watch. I'm a voyeur. I'm a talent voyeur. I could always
do the yarmulke act again if we need to.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, instead of Regis and Kathy Lee's gone, now they got Kelly and Ryan. We should have Jay and Joey, I think. I think we do. Oh,
so I'm getting top billing finally. Very nice.
No, you're getting a dress.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be like her.
And
I was going to say, I would do a political thing. I'm not doing it. That J. Edgar Hoover was buried in a sundress. You know, I don't want to do that. I did it.
See, there you go. There's the joke.
Bad joke. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to get on here. I had this itch, you know.
Yeah, but I've had enough of you already.
Plus, it's getting dark. If you notice, it's nighttime here.
Yeah, you know? The bats will be coming out soon.
No, they're still back there. These people are still. Well, listen to it. I mean,
they're playing darkness baseball, football.
I don't know what's going to happen in New Jersey when you guys open up. What are you going to do?
No, let me tell you, they opened up some parks and they had to close them because there were too many people. The Route 37 here in Toms River area, going over to the Seaside Bridge, was packed today, and everybody's drag racing again.
Oh boy!
It's like a typical weekend in the summer at the Jersey Shore. Like as if nothing was going on. And the only thing is you saw people going into fast food, places or wherever with masks on. Other than that, you would think nothing has gone on wrong here, and it changed like that the second the weather got nice. Amazing. And I feel bad for people who are still going to get sick. I do too. But
tomorrow I'm going to go to my uncle's place. He owns a funeral home. And maybe I'll borrow the car. That'll slow traffic down. Believe me, that'll wake some people up.
I've driven with you, so I.
Yeah. Well, he used to give me the clothing because I was in a poor neighborhood, and I wore a jacket that he gave me to the prom, but it had a slit in the back. But you know what? I've had a lot of fun with you today, and I hope that we get to do this again.
If we're allowed.
If we're allowed, yeah.
If we're not kicked off Facebook and Google, that's fine.
All right, I'm gonna go. We've had enough. Have you had enough?
Be big. Yes.
Let a smile be your umbrella. Don't get a mouthful of rain.